know we've done this before, but we'll do it again. It has a, this is an old one that I replaced, and there's a similar edge that goes underneath that that is matches that, and supposedly that's going to lock and hold in position. In theory, that's right, but it turns out that these screws, now I tightened this in, well, okay, I tightened these several times. You'd come back and find that the metal had stretched a little bit. So as this gets hot, the screw is stretches, and it will allow this to loosen up. You should go back and tighten them every week or so. We don't, or we haven't anyway, because we haven't got many of these in service. So we have those two different types of tips. I'm going to show you in the other controller, we've got a more modern, what they call a lap type. We have them on both ends of the segments, both for coming on and coming off. So that controller is much better than it was before we started what we were doing here. So let's take a look at the number 2 controller. Which one is which with the light? Yeah, there's a it may show better actually.
So this is the number 2?
Number 2 controller, yeah. I was looking to see if we had one that you could show better. These are all lock type. Well, maybe you can get the light in on top of that. Yeah, there. Yeah. All right, see how that overlaps with the step? This gives a much better contact inside, and it's called a lap type because it laps over one to the other. And this replaced exactly what was in here before. The company, this is the original one in the locomotive. The other one was the one that we had to replace because the first one had been stolen. So we use that type of controller. Now we had more of the old style of fingers here, so there's only 2 of them I think that are of a different style, and the Atlantic Shore would have done the same thing. They would have gone through whatever they had left over from whatever car that they scrapped and had taken all the parts out of, and used them to make it go. Now the other thing that I was doing when Phil came in here was, if you look inside of there, you can see the segment turning around, and here it is matching the finger, and that moves. Now what had happened was somewhere down in here, not important which one it was, but the tip had slipped just a little bit, and it was scraping on here, so I could only go this far, and then I couldn't go around the rest of the way, and I need to do that with the other controller. But now it works fairly evenly. If you have this too loose, what happens is you'll slip by a point. If you have it too tight, it takes 2 hands to operate the controller, which means you've got nothing left for the brake, and you can't get good control with that either. But even without lubrication, this I think is pretty good. Now, just a reminder, we had this controller apart almost to the last screw, every last little part, patched up. This white is a Sauerreisen, which is a calcium silicate, which hardens up and fills in all the holes, and then we sand it down smoothly, and it works quite well.